These days, it seems like ever since the start of the pandemic, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. But the number one business that everyone wants to start is Airbnb or VRBO. So I got something special for you guys today. Today, I'm flying down to Atlanta, Georgia to kick it with my boy, Dr. Nunnally, and he's gonna show us how he's getting started with his Airbnb flip.
Yeah, so this property is located in Metro Atlanta. It's in East Point, Georgia. It is approximately 6 minutes from the airport, somewhere between 7 to 10 minutes from downtown, with 7 being a more accurate number. But it's right in the middle of everything. Like right in the middle of where you want to be, close enough to where you can take MARTA transit to get downtown, so that'll be quicker if you don't want to, or if you decide you don't want to drive. We have MARTA bus stops up the street. You can actually walk to a bus stop to be able to go downtown. So it's really, really convenient in a lot of ways. All right, so yeah, my name's Eldred Nunnally. I don't have a background in this. This is the first time that we've done this. We do short-term rentals, my wife and myself. Our company's called Comfy Chic Retreats. Right now, currently we're on the Airbnb platform. And so I just want to welcome you to our world of this and trying to make sure that we do the best we can with this short-term rental thing. We've had this property since November. We've been working on it since November, slowly but surely. As far as Airbnb, man, it's an interesting story. So I purchased my first home in 2011, then got married in 2016, and then we paid our house off in 2019. And so once we got our new house, we were trying to figure out what to do with our new house. And we knew we didn't want to go the long-term rental route because people a lot of times don't take care of things as best as they can. And so as a result, we ended up doing short-term rental based off of reviews and Airbnbs and looking at how Airbnb, the platform works and things of that nature. So that's pretty much how we got into it. We've been into short-term rental for the past year, since November 2020. Yeah, November 2020. And so we've done pretty well. We made $35,000 our first year on one property. Our cleaning fees were approximately $6,000 for the year. And so we ended up making about $29,000 net. If you include property taxes, if you include supplies, if you include just general maintenance and repairs and things, like we upgraded the windows in the property, we upgraded the flooring in the property, things of that nature, then we ended up coming out with about $22,000. We do not currently have a mortgage on that specific property. Yeah, we would be showing you that property, but we actually had a guest come in for 11 days. That was a blessing. So the occupancy rate for that property is 40%, but that's because we're holding it down purposely to me. Again, first house, sentimental, stuff like that. And so typically we're booked about anywhere between 14 to 18 nights per month, which hits us right at about that 40. So it can be anywhere from 40 to 67%. The area that we're in, typical occupancy for that area is around 50-55%. So we're not that far behind, but again, we're not really trying as best we could, so.
All right, and I want to get to the current property that we're in, but just a little bit more background. For your first property, did you take professional photos? How did you prepare it for a listing? Did you hire a designer, or you kind of just did it all on your own?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first thing is, this is my wife's design, and I'm never gonna say no to her design. So, but it's actually done us really well at that particular property. Our average guests are typically female groups, usually around 6 people, and they're coming in for like bridal parties, birthdays, and things of that nature. So the title of that specific house is Eat, Sleep, and Be Chic. And so as a result, that's who we typically attract, are people that want to live the chic lifestyle. And that's usually who stays in that specific property. Professional photos we took with a camera. Professional camera, I think it's 1080p. It's an older camera though, but 1080p Nikon camera that I have, and we just took the pictures ourselves and posted them. But yeah, my wife wants to fit 6 or 7 in here. The thing about Airbnbs are everything is based on review. Every single thing you do is based on review. And so, we listen to Bigger Pockets podcast, specifically the Rookie podcast a lot, and they'll explain to you, the host of the Rookie show, I believe his name is Tony, he'll explain to you, because he does short-term rentals, that people look at your reviews to make sure that your property is the best fit for them. And I mean, if you look at everything in our society is based on review. You look at Amazon, you look at Google reviews. The first thing we do is Google a place that we want to go to and look at how many stars they have. And so with Airbnb, you can earn Superhost status, which I'm sure everybody knows, but you have to have 4 qualifying metrics that'll put you in Superhost status. That is a review that is, your total reviews or cumulative reviews have to be at least 4.7 and above. You have to have a certain amount night stay, certain nights or amount of night stay. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's either 100 overall nights or 30 stays. Not 100% sure there, but it's a certain amount of stays or cumulative nights that you have to have built up. You have to have less than a certain percentage of cancellations on your end. So if the guest cancels, then it's okay, but you can't cancel on the guest, and that's negative for a whole lot of reasons. And then the final thing is review, guest stay, cancellation. Oh, response rate. Yep, that's big. Response rate is the amount of time it takes for you to respond to a guest inquiry. So 2 types of responses. You have an inquiry, which is I want to book a house, so I'm going to ask about the house. As a host, you have to be able to respond really within minutes because it actually shows it at the bottom of your profile, the amount of time it took for you to respond. Or if somebody wants to book, you have to be able to say yes or no. Now, 2 types of booking. You can either do instant book, which is not what we do, but some people do it. And then you have bookings where people have to declare that they want to stay there and you have to accept the booking, which is what we do, and we have to do it in a specified amount of time, or it hits our reviews negatively, or our profile negatively. But we've been a Superhost for 4 consecutive quarters because it's judged quarterly, and so we look to be Superhost April. Get this property going. Right now we have about 47, 48 reviews. Our current star status in regards to reviews, I believe, is 4.85. So it's not the best in where we want to be, but it's higher than the 4.7 amount. At this moment, the last time I checked, I believe we had 41 5-star reviews, and we had 41 5-star reviews and 7 4-star reviews. So that's it, and that takes work to be able to do that, because it's all about communication and making sure people feel at home. All right, yeah. So excuse our mess again. We're in phase 2, which is the remodeling phase, and by the time we get to phase 3, we'll be open up next week. But this is supposed to be our living room area and dining room area. So over here, you're gonna have a couch in that area right there, 2 chairs here. All right, and then you're also gonna have a dining room table in this area right here next to the bar in our kitchen. And then in the back area right there, you're gonna have a television approximately 40 inches, just because we gotta make sure that the TV's not too big for the house. I'm all about having 50, 55, 65 inch TVs. And I really wanted to get one of those TVs for here, but it just wouldn't have fit the concept of what we were trying to do. And so that's that. Now, one thing that we are gonna do is we're gonna upgrade all of the electrical switches to automatic switches that can be controlled remotely. You just do that to save on power. And it's also just a cool looking, sleek feature that you'll have. Nest thermostats are in all our properties as well, just because it allows us to get the property ready for the guests. So we try to regulate it on eco mode as much as we can if guests aren't staying here, but then usually before the guest gets there, we'll have it automatically set to go to a certain temperature, so it gives off the feel that the house is heated and ready for you, or cool and ready for you to be able to come and enjoy your stay. That typically happens about 3 to 4 hours before a guest gets there. So now if we walk through to this area, so again, the house is intended to sleep a total of 5 people. My wife wanted 7, but I figured it was too small of a space. So it's gonna sleep 5 people. This is gonna be our office area. So you have, of course, your office nook right here where you can catch up on whatever type of work that you need to do. And then you also here have a day bed. The day bed is meant to sleep 1 person. You may be able to fit 2 people here. And then you have a trundle bed up under, so if somebody needs to pull a bed out and sleep here or sleep in there, then it sleeps that emergency guest that they need to. And that's pretty much it for this area. We're gonna book it and stage it and market it for 4 people. Realistically speaking, you could probably sleep 6 people in here and be comfortable. Yeah, we actually have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 beds in the property. 1 queen, 2 fulls, trundle bed, and day bed. Realistically speaking, If you base it off the queen sleeping 2 people, each full sleeping 1, you could probably sleep 6, 7 people here. If you really, really wanted to do that. But to be honest, it's not. I mean, it's supposed to be cozy, like a cottage. It's not really meant for that, in my own opinion. But next, you have the kitchen area. All right. Right here, you have your bar. All right. You have your bar area. We're going to place 3 bar stools here. But the bar stools are going to coincide with a big table that's actually the same height as this bar. And so the goal is for you to be able to turn your chair around and enjoy a drink here while somebody's fixing whatever they need to fix up. Or you can turn around to the table, have fun while watching TV right here. Cabinets came actually brand